וידבר השם אל משה חולו, שאו es Rosh bnei Yisrael legulgalosam chulu. And Hashem spoke to Moshe, lift up and count all the heads of the sons of Israel to their skulls. L'havi inyan nesiyas Rosh legulgalosam, to understand this concept of lifting up the head and counting them to their skulls. Hine Amru Razal, our sages said, in Omdin Hispalel, Allah mitoch koved Rosh, that we do not stand up to pray. We only stand up to pray from the heaviness of the head. And we need to understand this idea of heaviness of the head. That's a preface to prayer. And first we need to understand this, that sometimes it implies that prayer is at times higher than Torah. And like our sages said, if only man would pray the entire day, the entirety of the day, that the implication is that even though that through this they won't learn even the one chapter in the morning and so forth. And one time they say that the study of Torah is equivalent to them all. That is to say that even in comparison to prayer, it's equivalent to Hanishne Mekodim Bebraisa that's mentioned earlier in the Braisa. V'im Tefillah. And to understand all this, we first need to understand what our sages said. That anyone who gives peace to their friend, who greets their friend before they pray, it's as if they've made them into a bama, into an altar. That it says, go away from the man, that the soul is in his nostril. What is he considered? They say, don't read it in what? Read it like an altar, not a bameh, but a bama. And that is before prayer. The soul is only in his nostrils. And the concept is that this soul that you've given into me is pure. So you've created it and formed it and blew it. What does it mean that you've blown it? Like it says that you blew into, and he blew into his nostrils the soul of life. So that's again ba'apo. Into his nostrils he blew the soul of life. That is before prayer. The soul is only the same way it was given to Adam initially. And through the prayer, the soul that is in its initial state, that point of entry, spreads out to the rest of the body. Will be an explanation of this matter. The explanation of this that here we say, the soul that you've given to me is pure and you've created it. And at first glance, you would first have to say that you created it before the fact that it's pure. But the point is that it's not referring to the creative process of the soul, because then you would first have to say that it got created and then to describe it the way it was created, that it was pure. But rather, it's talking about levels of the soul, that the highest level is Tahorahi, that this concept of it's pure is the root of the soul, that came up into divine thought. Is that's united with infinite light. And then afterwards, when it needs to descend and to be enclosed in a body, it's in a concept of you've created it. A creation of from nothing to something. And then only afterwards you have the lower levels of forming it and blowing it. So it's found in the soul as it is above. It has 4 levels. And that's the concept of nefesh, ruach, neshama, and also the soul to the soul. Hanizkar b'sfarim, that's mentioned in books Subbalashon Kabbalah, Nikra b'china zu adalid b'shem chaya yechida, and in the Kabbalistic language. So this 4th level of Tahora corresponds with the levels of the soul of chaya yechida, fu b'chinas madregos Tahora, and that's the concept of pure. Shezeu inyan hamakifim shel hanashama, that's the concept of the encompassing lights of the soul. Like it says, let us make man in our sail, in our shadow, meaning an encompassing light. That tselem is the encompassing lights of the soul, and that's the chaya yechida. And that's why you have in the body 3 vessels corresponding with Naran, that in them rests the parts of the soul, that is to say, that the neshama rests in the brain, like it says, the soul of Hashem will give them understanding, and the breath is in the heart, that the wind, the level of ruach, is in the heart, because in the heart there's 2 parts of the heart, the left side full of blood, and in the right side the breath of life. And the level of nefesh rests in the liver. Because the blood is the soul, which is the concept of the liver that purifies the blood. And to the essence of the soul, that's called the soul to the soul. It does not have ein lakli prati. It does not have a particular vessel of the beguf in the body. Rather, it's enclosed within the intellect and the grasping of the mind. Because that it says that the neshama of Shakai will give them understanding. It does not mean that the understanding and grasping of divinity is the essence of the soul. Because the essence of the soul is the concept of self-sacrifice, which is beyond understanding and reason, beyond knowledge and reason. Because there's no reasoning for self-sacrifice. That a reason is only given to the level of love, to love Hashem because He is your life. But the concept of the soul to the soul, which is self-sacrifice, giving up your life, is beyond reasoning. It's only that the intellect is a vessel for the essence of the soul. That is, that through the intellect and grasping of divinity, a person can bring and draw down a revelation of the essence of the soul into the body, which is a concept of self-sacrifice. And this is what we say, given to our hearts, understanding. And that is to understand one thing from inside another thing. That what is mitoch davar, you're understanding a davar from the toch davar. So the toch davar, the thing that's inside, that's the divinity that fills the worlds. The davar hu soviv kol almin, and the thing that you understand from inside of it is that which encompasses the worlds. So from the neshama, you can have a understanding of the neshama lineshama. It's the kli for it. V'kodem hiskalusa idea saga bina, and through its before its revelation, through the grasping of understanding, adainu behelam b'seichel, it's still in a hidden state within the intellect. V'zeu shekodem atfila adain haneshama ba'apo, and that's what it means that the soul before prayer is still in his nostrils. Meaning it's still makif, it's still encompassing and isn't revealed yet. And through the prayer, it spreads out in a revealed state in all the vessels of the body. So we're talking about a revelation of chaya yechida within the rest of the body. The makif comes into a pnimi through the prayer. And the explanation of the matter, that the general rule in all, in the side of holiness is in the entire order of creation, that any flow that comes from above to below does not come, it doesn't come with the entirety of it as it is above, but its root and its source, its main concept, stays above, Ba'olam Elyon, in a supernal realm, and below only shines a glimmer from it. So too, from all these four levels of the soul, only a glimmer shines into the body from all the levels of the soul. Kamushi lamaila, as it is above. And it's because only a glimmer shines in. That's why you need prayer. To connect and unite the first root and source of the soul to the glimmer of the soul that shines in the body. That the soul, the nefesh, as it is, should go back up to its source and its root in a movement of self-sacrifice upwards, the to its supernal root and source. That the concept of prayer is a concept of the higher level of tshuva, for the soul to go back up to its source, that's what it means until your nation passes over Havaya, that is higher, much higher than the name of Havaya, which is the concept of contraction and spreading out, that the soul corresponds with the different letters of Hashem's name, and the source of the soul is beyond that. And this is what it's written, that Yaakov saw in his dream, that here is a ladder that's standing on the ground, and its head reaches towards heaven, that refers to prayer. Like it says in Zohar, that the ladder is prayer. That is, that it's beginning its lower rungs on the lower levels, umagia ad mikor v'shoresh haneshama, and reaches until the source and root of the soul. Ki inyan sulam isa b'medrash shahaya bo daled shlivin, that this ladder of Yaakov, it's brought in Medrash that it had 4 rungs, who inyan daled tikunei shchinta, that corresponds with the 4 decorations of the Shekhinah, Shebetfilah, that are in prayer. Shatfilah nichlaka l'dalet chalakim, that the prayer is divided into 4 parts. Mitchila satfilah ad Baruch She'amar, from the beginning of prayer until Baruch She'amar. Mi Baruch She'amar ad Birchas Yotzer. So that's the Tfilah Sasiya, and then from Baruch She'amar until Yotzer. So that's Yitzirah, Birchas Yotzer, V'Kriyashma, V'Shmona Esrei. And then you have the blessings of Yotzer and Kriyashma, as Olam Abriya, Shmona Esrei, corresponding with the Tzilus. Keneged Hadalid Madregos Sheyesh B'Neshama, and these 4 levels, these 4 parts of prayer correspond with the 4 levels that are in the soul. And that's why it says by Eliyahu, when he went to Har Sinai, that here was a great wind that came, lo b'ruach Hashem, but Hashem was not in the wind, and then after the wind was a noise, but Hashem wasn't in the noise. So and then a fire, and Hashem wasn't in the fire, and then they called Mamadaka, until you have the soft, still voice, and this corresponds with the 4 parts of prayer. The Kayal Shmona Esrei, that the soft, still voice refers to Shmona Esrei, Yal Yidei Daled Madregos Shebetfilah, Umechaber Umekasher Ha'aros HaNeshama Shebeguf, Umekor V'Shur Ha'elyon, that through prayer you unite and tie the glimmer of the soul that's in the body to its source and root, its supernal source and root, Sheyesh Badaled Madregos Hanal, that has these 4 levels of the wind and the noise, or the trembling earthquake, and the fire and the soft still voice. Now above it also says, I am a prayer, or my prayer of ani u'bechinas malchus. The word ani, I, refers to malchus, shu chayus elokiya mislabish ba'olamos lach yosam. That refers to the level of malchus, which is the life force, the divine life force that is enclosed in worlds to enliven them. Like it says, your kingship is the kingship of all worlds. And it's only a glimmer of the infinite. We're comparing it here to the glimmer of life force, similar to the glimmer of life force that's in the soul, that's enclosed in the body. Similarly, you have this glimmer of a divine life force that's enclosed within the worlds. That the essence of the infinite light is not enclosed in worlds to enliven them. Because the infinite essence of the infinite is exalted and removed from the worlds. That's why it says, I am prayer. That the language of tefillah is a language of connection, to connect the parts of a pottery vessel. It's to put it together. So when it says va'ani tefillah, means uniting the ani, to be tofel the ani. Va'ani tefillah, connecting the ani, connecting the malchus, the glimmer that's in creation with beyond. Like it says by Naphtali, that I was connected and united with my husband, from language of Naphtali, of Tofel, Tefillah. Tainu shischa berviska shel atzmus rein sof. That is to unite and tie the infinite, the essence of the infinite light. Kadosh umuvdal. That's holy and removed. Shiyayir v'iskala bebechinas malchus. That should shine and be revealed into the concept of malchus. Shu ha'aras ha'chayos ha'mislabish ba'olamos. That's the glimmer of life force that's enclosed in the worlds. V'achibur v'ha'iskashusu al yidei tefila shalanu k'mo she'izbor. And this uniting and tying is through our prayer, like we'll explain. V'zeu masha amru razal tefila keneged timidid. And this is what our sages said, that prayer corresponds with the korban tamid. Ki tamidin hu inyan korbanos shene'amar ben reach nichuachu. Because sacrifices are a concept, and it says about them that they are a pleasing wind, pleasing smell. Vu inyan echadim ketores, which is the same concept of the incense. Shugam kin bechinas reach, which is also a concept of smell, just like the korbanos. Like it says that we'll place the incense in your nostrils, which is the concept of smell. So it's in reach nichoach. We said that before the prayer the soul is only in your nostrils, but through the prayer it's in nichoach. It draws it down inwards, and similarly, like the ketores, which is in the nostril, to draw it down. It's a smell, it's only that the incense is more inner. Therefore, it was offered on the inner altar, and the sacrifices are more external. That the sacrifices were offered on the outer altar, and this is the concept of the inner part of the heart and the external part of the heart. And to explain this idea of smell, korban is in the gematria of long of countenance, of merciful. And this is like the verse that says in Yeshaya that for the sake of my name I will lengthen my countenance, and my praise will seal for you, or will have my nostril towards you. So marich af is also to lengthen the nostril, and my praise to the nose, to the echtom, to the chotem, or the nostril. Shlafamim ne'amar ala ashon ba'apo, that sometimes it says that smoke has gone up into his nostril. Shnimshech bechinas gvuros kashos, that this refers to drawing down of strong judgments or strengths, difficulties, from the concept that's called the nose, that from this level of the af you draw down gvuros kashos, harsh judgments of alidei korbanos mamshich mebechinas af hamshachas oneg elyon. But from the concept of the sacrifices you draw down from the concept of the nose a supernal pleasure, bechinas giloi or ein sof, or a revelation of the infinite light, not hiding in judgments. That's the juxtaposition of this smell of reach nichoach to be marich af instead of ashon ba'apo. V'zeu erech hapayim, and this is long of countenance. Dainu amshach mebechinas anikra af. That is to draw down from this level of the nose. V'zeu korban begematria erech hapayim, and that's why korban is in the same gematria as long of countenance, kalidea korban, of long of nose, long of nostrils, kalidea korban, naset chila bechinas reach. that through the sacrifice you first have the concept of the smell, that the smell goes upwards, it's an arousal from below towards the level that's called the nostril, then you have a pleasing to Havaya. What is the nichoach? That is to draw down into the name of Havaya. You're drawing down from beyond the level of the Shem Havaya into Havaya. Nichoach lahavaya. Shuhu tosef is Gilu Ein Sof b'Shem Havaya, which is an extra revelation of the infinite light into the name of Havaya. Shu klalos eser sfiros d'Atzilus, which is the general concept of the 10 sfiros of Atzilus. Again, that we're drawing down the makifim. Like we said, the Tzelem, Malchus, and through this you shine down automatically, and to be revealed the revelation of the essence of the infinite light, Malchus, into the level of Malchus. Like we said was the Ani, that the Tefillah is the concept of drawing down into Ani, the Malchus, Shu Chayus Elokus Hamislabish Ba'olamos, which is this divine life force that's enclosed within the worlds, Lachachayosam, to enliven them, Hanikra Gamkin Nefesh Kol Chai, which is also called the soul of all life. The soul of all life is Malchus. V'zeolaman Shmi Arich Api. So this is the verse that for the sake of my name I will lengthen my nostrils, that for the Malchus, the Shmi, I will draw down from Arich. I will draw down from the concept of beyond Havaya. Shechadei Shiyum Shechto Seves Gili Oin Sof Kadosh Umuvdal Bibichinas Malchus Anikra Shmi, that in order to draw down the extra revelation of the infinite light that's holy and removed into the level that's called my name. Arich api, I need to lengthen my nostrils. You have to draw down from the level that's called the nostril. Malchus de Chochma, that what's this nostril is the Malchus of Chochma. So what level are we attaching to? We're not attaching to Malchus itself, but Arich is attached to first Malchus of Chochma. Because you cannot have a connection and uniting the infinite light that's wholly removed into Malchus, the soul of all life. That you cannot have a connection to the Malchus, which is the soul of all life, whether it's going upwards or whether it's drawing down. You can only have that connection if it first comes into Chachma, which is the beginning and general concept of the name of Havaya, that you draw down into the first point of Chachma and the general concept of Havaya, and only afterwards it can draw down into particular. So it is drawn into Malchus, but it's Malchus of Chachma. Yislabshus Atzmus Orein Sof Ubechachma Davka, because the enclothement of the essence of the infinite light is specifically with Chachma. Alkein Sarich Tchila Halal Bechinas Af. Therefore, you first have to awaken to the concept of the nostril. In Keser V'Halazu Nikra Reach, and this elevation is called the smell. Tahinu Shemagil Orein Sof Hamlubish Bechachma Ilah. That is, that you reach to the infinite light that's enclosed within the supernal wisdom, al derech hareach shemeshi v'sanefesh, like the concept of smell that revives the soul. And to this you'll draw down the essence of the infinite light in the entire name of Havaya, like we said, Ad Bechinas Malchus, until all the way down to the level of Malchus as well, not just Malchus of Chachma. And this is why it says, my praise will be a nose for you. That through the prayer, the tehillah, will you draw down from the chotam, from the nostril. So you're not only marich af, but you draw down from the chotam. And look what's brought about the Mamer about Ashrei, where he talks about tehillah, David, that David is malchus, and tehillah is the concept of prayer. And this is the statement that anyone who says Tilel David 3 times each day, Muftach lo shu ben olam haba, he's promised that he is a person that belongs in the world to come, that has a portion in the world to come. Nimsa shekor banu inyan halas hareach lebechinas hanekra chotam lamaylos. What's found then that the sacrifice is a concept of an elevation of smell to the concept that's called the nostril above. That and through this you had drawn down into Avaya, that is, you draw down the essence of the infinite light that's holy and removed till the level of Malchus that's called the soul of all life. And prayer corresponds with the Korban Tamid. Why the Korban Tamid? That's the regular daily sacrifice, that through the prayer, which is the elevation and the bringing close the animal's soul, you also have this concept of smell to go upwards, that you're elevating to the level that's called the nostril above. And through this you'll also tie and connect the infinite light that's holy and removed to the level of Malchus. That, like the statement to the master of the nostril, I supplicate lebalachotim, ani mispalel, to the master of the nostril do I pray. Ketzer dalet madregos haneshama kamoshein lamaila, that you have these 4 levels of the soul as they are above, naram chaye yechida, that you have nefesh ruach neshama, and then the makifim of chaye yechida, or beguf kimul kelim, or achlev kaved, and in the body you have the 3 inner vessels of the mind and the heart and the liver. Shore naran rests the nefesh ruach neshama, ubeseichel shebamach mislabish chaye yechida, and the intellect and the mind rests the makifim of chaye yechida, v'kol ze rak ha'ara mimekor neshama, and all of this is only a glimmer from the source of the soul into the encompassing lights and the inner lights. And through the 4 parts of prayer, which are like a concept of the ladder, notice that he actually does not connect it to the Olamos yet here in his paragraph, but rather to the levels of the neshama. But the prayer, which is the ladder, is the higher level of tshuva, mechaber, mekasher, mekor, v'shoresh neshama. So you're connecting and tying the source of the soul, bechinas tohora, the concept of pure, to the level of the soul as it shines in the body. So to above, in the creation of the worlds, the concept of malchus, which is called the life of all worlds, the life of all living. Bechinas ani, the concept of I of prayer, or Ein Sof, is only a glimmer from the essence of the infinite light that's included in worlds, just like you have a glimmer of the soul in the body. And through the sacrifices and the drawing upwards and close the animalistic soul, you tie and unite the essence of the infinite light that's exalted and removed beyond worlds, bebechinas malchus, into the life of worlds, the life of all, the malchus, be'emsos bechinas chotam reach nichoach, through the nostril of the that smells, so to speak, and draws down lehavaya, into the olamos, into the shem havaya, the inner levels. From the makifim, from the Atzmus Or Ein Sof, that's Kadosh Muvdal, into Malchus of Chachma, and then down into Malchus to be Mechaya Olamos.